What up, everyone? How's it going? Today we've got a very special guest. He needs no introduction, but it's Shahbaz Bhai from Pakistan. And I thought we'd just have a quick chat, 5-10 minutes, because he's a big foodie, but also loves his cars. And I love my cars, and I am always watching the market in Pakistan for cars. And I wanted to discuss with him what's happening there, because it's quite interesting now.
Yeah,
so it's crazy, because my observation is Pakistan, 20, 30 years ago, had Toyota and Honda.
That's it.
And rip-off cars, absolute classic crap. Now they've got the latest Chinese cars. I was watching the latest video. And with next level tech, which now UK, US can't get. It's just next level, man. So I was watching your Park Gay video. By the way, if you love your cars and you're in Pakistan, watch Park Gay, man. So I'll let Shahbaz, but I want to ask you, man, so how are the Chinese cars? Was it Depot, that car?
Depot, the one that so the last video that we made, we were racing a train, and we wanted to show. So it's a semi-bullet train from Lahore to Faisalabad. And what we wanted to show was that that the Chinese car not only has the mileage to get you from one city, so it's about 150 kilometers from Lahore to Faisalabad, which is another big industrial city. And what we wanted to show was that these cars, there's a thing in there's a mindset in Pakistan and actually all over the world that they can't give you the mileage. They're not motorway cars. You should just use electric cars for the city.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to show you was that, look, these are ultra luxury vehicles. They'll get you any destination, 500 kilometers, 600 kilometers. It's just it applies, like you have to apply a little bit of sensibility to how you're driving.
That's it.
RPM in here, kilowatts in the electric car. But anyways, regardless of all of that, the tech inside the cars, the luxury that you're getting inside the cars. Also, of course, tech and luxury is fine, but price. So you're getting a Bentley for the price of a Honda Civic.
Insane.
So how is a Honda Civic going to compare with that? Or compete, rather?
How is it just turned around? So, for example, before you're getting German cars at very high tax import rates, right?
300%.
Yeah.
300%.
Now you're getting cars better than the Germans at much cheaper. So, for example, you're saying, and now the e-tron would be about a few crores now, but you're getting that deeper.
3.5, yeah.
Now you're getting that deeper.
So 3.5 is about $130,000.
Yeah.
For a base model e-tron, which is maybe 75k in England.
Yeah.
And so you're getting a car that is better than that, double the range, 10 times the tech quality. And so, for example, I've got a B&O sound system in my car.
Oh, wow.
And the Deepal has Bose.
Okay, yeah.
And of course, B&O is aesthetically great, but we all know that Bose is a phenomenal sound manufacturer.
Absolutely.
So the fact that the car has that is incredible. And I mean, how much quality are you looking for, right?
100%.
So in every field, then, self-drive, massage seats, heated seats, all of this for 35k.
Yeah.
Then in Pakistan, of course, the electric car duties are not the same as the German car duties.
100%.
So if you're paying 300% for a German car, you're paying maybe 25% more or 35% more for an electric Chinese vehicle. And then price points are important as well, because you're taxed at how much you're buying something. So 35k car, which is like a little Bentley or a Urus, is just, you can't compete, man. And the thing is that, like, Hondas and Toyotas, they monopolized the Pakistani market for so long. The Honda Civic and the what was it called? Corolla, Atlas, and GLI, and they evolved as well.
Scams,
the series.
man, absolute scams. Like,
no safety, no music, no touch screen,
no airbags,
no nothing, no airbags. They fail every road safety test anywhere in the world. They cannot, they can't pass it, right? So it's a scam, it's a Ponzi scheme specifically for the Pakistani market, where the rules and regulations, like in England, you cannot sell that car. The manufacturer, whoever the CEO of the company is going to be facing jail.
Even their engines, so they use, I think, Euro 2, Euro 3 engines. I mean,
Euro
6
exactly.
So emissions, efficiency,
nothing.
Absolute ridiculous.
It's horrible.
And then obviously you're paying top dollar for that. How many? Back in the days it was what, 25-30 lakhs. Now it's like
it's
1
like
crore.
90 lakhs for a Honda Civic, man. That's too much, man.
And no innovation, right? Just very basic. But thankfully, I think with the entrance of MG and all these new cars, the floodgates opened, and then now you've got the most incredible cars, right?
The most incredible cars, and I'll tell you something really funny. So on the Pakistan Stock Exchange, one of the companies that has done the best out of everyone is the parent company of a manufacturer called Haval.
Oh yeah, Haval, yeah.
Haval.
Yeah.
Man, what an amazing SUV. And you know, we did this really funny video where, you know how there's Uber and apps like this, like taxi apps. So there's one called InDrive in Pakistan, and we did a little, we're actually doing a collaboration with them. So it's called Jin Drive. JIN drive, like a little ghost drive. And we did it in a hovel. We were picking up random customers and getting them to review it, review the car. And you should have seen like the feedback from students. And they were like, you know, my father has a Honda Civic, and or, you know, I mean, 2 generations, 3 generations of my family has driven Corollas, but I want this car. Like, you know, I'm going into the market now in another year and a half, and this is my ideal car. I don't want to buy a Honda, I don't want to buy a Corolla.
Yeah, how would we jump from Corollas and Hondas 2-3 generations ahead to the cutting edge of, you know, cars with AI in them? Absolutely crazy. From plastic, it's just mental, man.
The Pakistani market is what, 250 million people. Massive. That's 3 times, 4 times the size of the UK market. So we have one of the largest second-hand car markets in the world. Now the thing about Pakistanis is, I know we're a poor country, but we're a very like quality conscious country. So we want bang for our buck. Unfortunately, for so many years, because of the Honda and Toyota monopoly, we were just getting what we could get. And so more, say, the elite or the upper middle class wouldn't even touch these cars. They would go straight for the German manufacturers, import them, pay the 300% duty, and bring those cars in, because whatever, they just didn't want to get into this Honda Toyota scene. Now what's happened is, the shift in this didn't come from Hondas and Corolla. It didn't come from the elite. It came from the lower middle class, and the middle class now wanting more than what they were paying for. So, you know, then Audi and BMW started this thing about resale. So in one of my videos, I got a lot of flack for it, because I said that, you know, resale is not real when you're buying a car. Especially when you're buying a car that you love, or it's a family car, you're going to kind of drive it till it finishes, right? So what is resale? Especially when you buy a car, you drive it out of the showroom and someone is telling you, oh my God, it's lost 35% of its value on 1 mile. That doesn't make sense. So you're driving these little Bentleys now in Pakistan. People are telling you you've lost 35% of your value. But the manufacturer is giving you a battery guarantee for 100,000 kilometers, which means anything that happens to your car, the manufacturer is directly responsible, will replace and fix.
Absolutely.
Honda and Corolla cannot give you that. Nor can Mercedes, nor can BMW. So the Chinese companies have come in for the first time and given you customer service after sale in Pakistan.
Which you've never seen before, man.
We've never seen that.
You've seen lots of. We know the quality of these Civics and Corollas. It's mind-boggling. Yeah, they might look nice in the market in a sea of Suzukis and whatnot, but the tech was old. The quality. I've seen accidents. You've seen them. Oh my! It's like paper, literal paper.
It's like paper.
So how that's even legal is crazy. The government, I don't know how the whole process works, but it was just crazy for such a long time. We had this, but now with Chinese cars, it's just how this is turned around within a space of what, 3 to 5 years. When did the MG come?
I think 2021, when COVID kind of hit. Just before COVID, all these guys started flooding the Pakistani market. So first their response wasn't. I mean, they weren't getting, people who were a little skeptical, but now, I mean, that's over. Everyone has an MG, everyone has a Haval, everyone has a Changan. You know, one of these Chinese companies, the main car of the house is one of these.
Yeah, it's interesting actually. So when I went the first year, when you guys imported these Chinese cars, now the impression here, we don't think bad of Chinese cars. जब मैं पाकिस्तान गया, yeah, Chinese गाड़ी, Chinese technology, बुरा माना जाता है. But I was telling the locals, like, no man, China is way ahead. Your iPhone is made in China. The amount of production in Asia is just insane, man. So you know, unless there was some really bad things released there, I don't know, but generally we understand Chinese, you know, the market is huge. They can just produce things a lot cheaper, a lot quicker.
You know, that's why they banned Huawei and BYD. Like BYD's entry into the US market is probably more difficult than any other car manufacturer, like the regulations and the, you know, entry point requirements. If BYD was to enter the European or US market on the same terms as like say Ford is in America, or Mercedes and Audi, Volkswagen, any of these companies operate in Europe, they would wipe them out overnight. Like you would never buy another BMW, like unless you're going for an M or a Maybach or a Rolls, there's no
It's
point.
game over,
It's
man.
game over.
So everyone knows the Tesla Model 3. I've driven one. I drove the performance one. Quite nice, but the BYD Seal, oh my god, the interior, the quality, it just looks apart. The battery is a lot better. It's just gonna.
The suspension is phenomenal, and like for me, one of the things that used to worry me was the drive. I used to just kind of think maybe the suspension isn't good enough. That the drive I feel in these Chinese cars is better than the European cars.
Wow, that's saying something, because German
Yeah,
cars are
I get a
known
lot of
for
flack
their
for this because I'm like very pro-German because I have a German car, so how can I insult my own car, right?
Well, haven't these guys, I think, was it the BYD or the Yang Wang guys, they've hired the designers from Bentley. That's why these cars, interior-wise and from the outside, look
I don't
quite
want to say
similar.
the wrong thing, but I think the head of BYD's design is the ex-BMW guy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Man. And the thing is, they have all the patents. They have all the design and suspension, paint. They were clear about what they want. They didn't want technology from Europeans or Americans because they felt that they were too far behind them. So what they wanted was their leather patents, their design patents, their color patents, because that's the unique stuff about these cars is some of their colors and some of these things. And now with that, the Chinese are unstoppable.
And I love it. You know what, Fuad? In my opinion, the Western world, with America, Europeans, they've just had so much of a long time with having so much of prominence in the market. I think it's time. Chinese have just caught up like this. So why not, man? You're making it cheaper. It's more competition. So it'll.
The thing about the Europeans and the Americans is that they really encourage a competition and free markets, but it's not true, because if they did, they would take the Chinese on, but they can't, because if for any reason the Chinese entered on the same terms, they're just, I was talking to our friend's dad, and I was telling him that since 2001, 2002, the US and most the European countries went into a 24-25 year long war in two countries, and they exhausted their economies, their taxpayers' money into fighting these wars. Meanwhile, China was building infrastructure in South America, in Africa, all over Asia. And so now 4 years after that war, the Americans want to be economically right up there, and so do the Europeans. You see all these tariffs and this big game that they're playing. But they're about 15-20 years too late. There's no way that these tariffs are gonna. China has too many markets they can just access and dump this 35% whatever that the Americans are buying. They've got Africa, they've got South America, they've got Pakistan. Pakistan is 250 million people. Bangladesh is again 200 odd million people. You've got all these countries in Southeast Asia right next to China that are buying American goods because of trade agreements from the 40s. And it's just not going to make sense. It's just not going to make sense in another 5 years.
100%. I think that for past decades we've had America spending billions, trillions on their wars and whatnot.
You just look at what they're doing with Ukraine right now. 60 billion gone.
Israel. Gone.
The same thing with the British government. Look at how much money they've invested into, and it is like an investment, right, into this war with Ukraine. And the Chinese have invested zero. There's zero money of the Chinese going into Iraq, going into Afghanistan, going into Ukraine, into Syria. There's no war. The only place that they fight is on the negotiation table. Right?
And that's being smart, man. Because you've got these European countries and the obviously Americans and all these guys fighting each other, spending billions and billions. China, in the meanwhile, is exporting. I
mean, just think about the how. How in the European Union today it's a landmark in terms of how countries can progress. Like France and England, historical enemies, right? And today they're part of they were part of the same union. In a similar manner, Japan and China don't get along, and yet Japan's military spending is through the roof to take on the Chinese, but the Chinese have not spent $1 in fighting a single war with Taiwan, with Japan. And they do, they put a lot of pressure on them. They'll take this, they'll take that. But that's just normal military work. There's no war, there's no money going towards funding a war. It's all gone into development.
It's crazy, man.
And one of the things that they developed was their car industry. And if you look at BYD as a company, it's maybe if you put all the other companies together, and I'm talking about 200-year-old American manufacturers, 100-year-old German manufacturers, they are below BYD. And their new factory is an AI robotic factory the size of San Francisco.
Really?
It's the size. It's the most incredible thing right now, I think, as far as car manufacturing is concerned in the world, and no one is talking about it.
So I know. In case you guys don't know, BYD is a very disruptive electric car manufacturer. We had Tesla, but Tesla tried selling their Model 3 for $30,000, kind of fell short. They're a bit scared now, really scared now.
Yeah, because BYD is cheaper and better. It's called the Tesla killer.
It really is. Pretty much in every metric, looks-wise, interior-wise. I mean, they drive a lot better. If you check the reviews on them, BYD is good. But I think Yangwang is the luxury division of BYD, something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you look at the Yangwang
U8, it's a phenomenal car, man. It's such a cool car.
It looks like a Land Rover Defender. It's got the interior of like a Bentley.
So right now, the Land Rover Defender is personally, I love it. It's like my top car right now. I would love to own that. And
I don't know if you like
owning
it. I don't know if you like owning it. They're the bloody unreliable. Land Rover cars are just
and that's why I just love the look of it. And
of course,
now
really cool.
I'm going to try and find the Chinese one because I'm going to get that satisfaction at half the price.
But what is that car? It's got 1,000 horsepower. You can drive it in water. And it does turns. It's just unbelievable.
So we were just driving I've forgotten the name, the G-Wagon Electric, EQG, I think it's called.
EQ,
580
EQG. Yes.
So it has this button that you press and it does the thing. But the Chinese put it in, and the EQG is what, $100,000.
Yep.
This is what, like 60, 50s.
Mental, man.
So how do you compete? How do you compete with something that's better than you in half the price?
I wouldn't think twice. That the Yangwang U8 comes here.
They never allowed Land Rover would be finished overnight.
And it's good because it's not fully electric. It's got a small engine. If you run out, it's got the range. What a car, man! What a car!
And you saw I was telling you about the sports car and the suspension, about how just some of the things that they're doing, and it's crazy to think that a Chinese sports car is better than a Lamborghini. Now you have to understand, Lamborghini was made to compete with Ferrari, which is sports car, like the holy grail of sports cars, right? Now you're talking about companies that have Formula One. You're talking about companies that have all Grand Tours, whatever you do. The Ferrari has been tested on every platform, and for decades and decades, the Ferrari and the Lamborghini are, they're untouchable. Till this BYD sports car shows up.
Well, look, I think for a good few decades we had Lamborghini, Ferrari, but then you've had Koenigsegg come in. Obviously, then Bugatti was in September, but now you've got Rimac. Now they've bought Bugatti.
Is that an Eastern European, right?
Rimac is Croatian, and now they've bought Bugatti now. So the new architecture, I think all Bugattis will follow. Not now, because the new Bugatti coming out. What's it called? The Tourbillon V16. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Oof. But I think going forward they'll have some sort of technology with that.
But should I tell you something? Don't be surprised if in the next 4 or 5 years they have something to kill the Bugatti. Don't be surprised.
Yeah, man. But so the technology Rimac have used is class leading. It's similar to Koenigsegg. If you check, they made like a 600 horsepower motor this big. It weighs like mental technology, right? Even with the carbon fiber and whatnot. But I think Bugatti had no choice because the combustion engine probably going, so it was probably a decision they made. They salvaged them or the brand. I don't know.
I heard that every Bugatti cost the company money. It cost them more to make the car than they were selling it for. And that's crazy to think that they sell them for 2-3 million pounds.
Yeah, apparently.
And still they're taking a loss on it.
Exactly.
So I know the Rimac guy, he came out and his product, actually his brain is such that they banked on him. Did he work for Zonda? He worked for one of these supercar manufacturers as a designer before
I don't know his background, but the guy's a genius. He's an absolute
he's a genius. He's a genius.
So yeah, man, he's making something incredible. So
but you know what I like, you know, I remember when Damien Chrysler merged with Mercedes. I remember when Mercedes bought when Volkswagen bought BMW. I remember when Jaguar and Land Rover was sold to was it Tata? Yeah. And so I remember when all of these companies started merging with each other, and we were like, oh wow, you know, this is going to happen now. Just imagine if one of these Chinese guys like a BYD came and bought a Porsche or bought a Ferrari.
Wouldn't be surprised, man. So do you know Mercedes-Benz is partially owned by a Chinese company, a company called Geely?
Okay.
That's been there for like good a while, 5-10 years. So they're already owned by a Chinese company. Volvo, Chinese company.
Okay, yeah.
Volvo's taken by a Chinese
company. MG is also MG is
a Chinese company. So this actually happened maybe 10 years ago, but now
and then they stopped it, right? They were probably like, no more.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. This is gonna dominate the world, man. Supply chain.
No, you know, it's like. Have you seen the Xiaomi? I don't know what the company is. Xomi or Xiaomi?
Xiaomi, yeah.
It's a mobile, but they've got a car as well.
SU7, no?
Yeah. It's a fantastic car. So I wanted to buy I was looking at the Porsche Taycan. I really liked it, and I saw this candy blue color, which I just fell in love with. So I brought it home. I took Neha for a drive. She loved it. And then at night we went to get hot chocolate to this Raya area, you know, near the golf course and stuff. So as we're driving in, there was a candy blue Taycan, and I was like, oh look, Neha, that's the car that we're getting. And she goes, no, it's not. That's not a Porsche. And what is that? And I realized it was a Xiaomi.
SU7, right? Wow.
And the only problem with it is it's on the other side. Like you drive on the other side.
Oh, left side.
Yeah, so you know it doesn't work in Pakistan. But anyways, I was like, I'm never going to buy a car that there's a better and cheaper alternate for. And then their phones. They're better than Apple. Huawei's technology is far superior to any of these guys. So you know, if there'll come a point where these guys will be given a chance to compete. And I think when that comes, they'll literally take over these markets.
That's it.
Like if you go to Hong Kong, you won't meet a lot of people with iPhones, but you'll meet a lot of people with like, you know, Oppos and Xiaomis and, you know, different, you know, no one is like, it's not like that Apple obsessed market. The same thing in Shanghai, the same thing in Beijing. Forget that, man. Like, you know, we have X and they have WeChat and they have their own everything, and all of these social media companies are as big like as Twitter. Like their version of Twitter is as big as X. Their version of WhatsApp is as big as WhatsApp. It's insane. So everything that they do is a profitable, cheaper and better alternative to anything.
I agree, man. I think,
and you know, the thing is that I am an anti-China guy, so they bring me on Park Gear as a myth buster. You know, like I have my German car and I have to continuously race against these goddamn Chinese cars and I keep losing, man.
I love the videos, by the way. If you guys haven't seen Park Gear, man, so it's basically like Pakistani Top Gear, but so entertaining, man. They do like these challenges. They did one recently with the train and the depot. Such a cool looking car, but it's just entertainment throughout. Not one boring minute in it, so I love it, man. So
no, I'm gonna get like when you're in Lahore, we're gonna do like a family thing. So it's gonna be like our wives and us, and you and your wife will be eating and I'm going to be driving. Like, you know, they put a ban on the motorway. You can't go above 120 now, and you know, some of the speed limits that we reach are
120. That's what, 70 miles an hour?
70, 60. And I think the limit is 129. So you can't go higher than that, otherwise it's an FIR. So, you know, if you ever speed some of the speeds that I've been driving on the motorway, it's quite illegal. So we've actually started cutting those.
You have to. It'll be if you drive above, which I've never.
Yeah, but you know, this is like a normal country. I like to think that we're a bit lawless as far as some of our stunts are concerned.
So if you do, how do they catch you there?
Cameras, police, speed cameras. I mean, you know, you've been. the Pakistani road network is maybe 10 times better than any other country that I've ever been to. Like, it's phenomenal. If you drive from Lahore to Islamabad, which is 600 kilometers, or 400 and something kilometers, it's absolutely like, it's the best drive that you can.
I agree 100%. So I came off a very long time and they're like, let's go Islamabad. Lahore se Islamabad, it was one of the best drives. Services to yaar apna maza uska, lekin beautiful, clean, smooth roads.
And by the way, it doesn't end in Islamabad, because you can go from Islamabad to China and you can choose your direction, whether you want to go from Mari Nathia Gali side, Aptabad side, Mansehra side, Swat, whether you want to go from Hunza. The road network is phenomenal. So one of the things that we're going to do now, we've got 2-3 videos that I was telling you about. So one of them, we're going to be racing a private plane. So a guy is going to take off from Pindi and he has to get to Lahore, and I will be racing like some car against it. So there's obviously a thing, he has to go to the airport, he has to check in, there's a takeoff time. So, you know, say it's like 3 hours for him, the entire experience, and I have to get from Lahore to Islamabad before the plane.
That'll be fun to watch, man.
So again, Chinese car, because no one else can give me the speed or, you know, the reliability.
Yeah, 100%.
And then, so we've got these crazy, like we've got some crazy ideas at Park here. We have a fantastic producer. He's the owner of the channel and he's the editor as well. Seriously gifted guy or girl. We can't reveal his gender or his name. Its gender or its name. And then we've got Mehran, who's, you know, hilarious, but you know, he's actually a car expert. So he was in the car business in London, and since we were kids, he's been obsessed. Like, I remember when we were 14, 15, he said, I'm going to buy a Ferrari. And we used to laugh at him and be like, you know, a 14-year-old saying, I want to buy a Ferrari is crazy. But now we're 40 and he's owned multiple, you know, Ferraris and Porsches and Astons. So he knows his cars, right?
And that's what I was telling you is really important, because you can have a car review in Pakistan, but if they've only seen the local cars like Honda, you have nothing to compare it to, right? You need someone who knows like German cars. But Pak Gear, like, I know it's going popularity now, but years ago when I saw the quality of the production, man, this is great, man. And I was just a bit sad to see it.
So my wife hates it because she's like, they don't give you life insurance. Like, you know, you're doing all these crazy things without life insurance. What if something happens? And I keep telling her, I'm like, you know, with me there is no life insurance. I don't think she understands what she got herself into.
That is a separate video.
It could be Lahore today, Kabul tomorrow. We don't know.
That is a whole nother video I think we can make on. But yeah, if you want to look up with Shahbaz Bhai, obviously he's mashallah has had an exceptional life, let's just say.
No, I'm blessed. I'm very blessed. Very lucky. Great friends, great family.
Of course.
And God has been very, very kind. And but you know, again, it comes back to you know, your life is only as good as, I think, the people and the cars in it. And the food.
Cars and the food.
So, you know, those 3 things is very important for me.
Yeah, we met her like 2-3 hours ago, constantly non-stop. What we've been talking about is the food and cars.
Food and cars. And with you, I swear I see every single video of yours, bro. I send them to Neha. I'm like, when we go. We actually started making a list of halal food videos because of you. And then it got a bit out of hand, because the Nashville sandwich is one of my favorite things.
Which we're going to now, by the way, we're going
but you've done like 5,000.
We try and manage as much as we can, but
but I think we've hit the lottery with Dave's Hot Chicken.
I like it at Chio. It's
incredible.
I want to see how you've had it in the States. I want to see how you compare it to London. There's only one in London so far, but I want to see how you compare the taste to States.
You know, I don't know if you remember when Krispy Kreme first opened in London, there was one shop in Harrods. That's it. And it was fresh, and it was the best Krispy Kreme that I've ever had. So with all these American franchises, when they come to the UK, I think they start with one just to see how the experiment is going. And usually I found that in England, the food is way better for fast food franchises. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's an American version here. Right? You mentioned Krispy Kreme. Now we've got Wingstop. Forget obviously the usual ones, KFC, McDonald's, which we're going to be boycotting anyway. Strict boycotts by the way they don't do. But you got Wingstop here. You've had Dave's Hot Chicken open up. You've got Popeyes. You've got Chick-fil-A coming. And I think a few more franchises. Well, this is going to be, people are going crazy for fried chicken here. So the market is huge, and this is getting bigger and bigger.
No, I think Dave's Hot Chicken is a lottery. I'm actually surprised. You know, the other thing that you guys need is In-N-Out.
Yes.
So I think if somebody was smart enough and brought that franchise to London, it would just take over. It is, I think, in my opinion, one of the best burgers.
Really reckon, yeah. So we're lucky we've had halal, Five Guys become halal recently. Which is good. But
Neha didn't like it.
You didn't like it? I thought, okay, it's really overpriced.
I think it's crazy. I love it, man. I think it's one of my. I say Five Guys is better than Shake Shack.
I think it's good. I'll tell you my issue with it. For me, a good burger needs to have a house sauce in it. Now, when you spec your burger in Five Guys, ketchup, mayonnaise, barbecue sauce, I'm like, nah, are you using good quality?
You need something of your own.
You need a house special sauce because the taste of ketchup is so strong and vinegary, it just overpowers the beef. So I'm like, I just go with kind of more.
So In-N-Out has a secret menu, and that menu is like it's all this like different stuff that you can do with cheeses, special sauce, house sauce, and then they've got the crazy fries. I mean, it's something. Hopefully one day when we're in California together, I'll take you. It's also halal, so that's the best thing about In-N-Out is a lot of the Pakistani, or rather the Muslim community in California, and it's only a California. Like now they've branched out.
In-N-Out's halal. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, In-N-Out is halal, and the thing is that one of mine and Neha's friends, he's like you, like he's like halal only, right? Achha. So he doesn't touch anything, and In-N-Out is what he's obsessed with.
I had no idea.
And In-N-Out was one of the first companies to do it because they realized it's a huge market. And all you have to do is say you're halal, and suddenly you've got this entire market that you didn't even think about. And the Pakistani community or the Muslim community rather in California is huge. So Neha and I were invited for this event, and all doctors. We couldn't actually believe it was one of the biggest events I've ever done, like maybe 200, 300 people. And I'm an author, right? So that's crazy for me. Like, we do like 50 people. The biggest I've had is at literary festivals. But just for a regular event to have 250 Pakistanis, extremely influential, all well-made, self-made people doing really well. And then that branches out, like that's just a few people. Just imagine what the branch out is. And then they all told me, we moved here in the 70s. You've got hundreds and thousands of Muslims living just in the Bay Area, maybe touching 1 million or something. And they all they all have a similar mindset that, our food has to be clean, it has to be halal. We not necessarily, they don't love processed food. They don't love, anything pork related. And not a lot of countries cater to that.
No.
But In-N-Out surprisingly was one of the first companies to realize it and capitalize on it.
In-N-Out's like fast food, but many don't know this. They have their own farms. So all the tomatoes, everything is just on their own supply chain, which is incredible. And it's just aesthetically such a nice looking burger, the animal style fries. So now you've told me, I think I might need to.
But you just don't take my word for it. Go to the San Francisco one that I know for sure is But whoever brings that to the UK, he's gonna hit in cricket, as we say, a checka.
So they've had actually pop-ups. I think 5-6 years ago they had a pop-up. Queues around, like the massive queues. But I think they're they control it a lot, don't they? Like the In-N-Out, they don't franchise out. They only keep it in certain areas.
They used to be like this when the mother, the mother who's the founder or who inherited it from her father was alive. But then I think now it's gone to the kids, and they were like, franchise, baby.
That's it.
And like she said, her vision was don't franchise, control quality, and it should be a like people should actually want to come to California and say, dude, I want to have In-N-Out. And it was like that. Like, the first time, I'll never forget, I went to California. You've got all these things that you can have, but in my list of things to do and discover California, like drive on the 101, In-N-Out.
I tell you what, now I've had Five Guys Halal. I think In-N-Out is the only burger left in the world which I would say drool over, because I know people have it. I'm like, I wonder what it tastes like, because so it just looks.
You would love it. You would love it. Actually, the thing is, I'm not scared to like over talk about something. You know how sometimes you're like, man, what if I say something like I big up something too much and then it like falls flat on it. But every single person that I've ever spoken to like this, and I've fed In-N-Out to, has been like, I wasn't even expecting it afterwards. Like what I got was even more than what you were going on about.
And the animal style fries as well.
And the animal style fries. So Neha is different from me. I have like this. It's like an animal styled In-N-Out burger. It's like 4 patties in one, and they have a secret menu, so it's crazy. But I got her some animal style stuff, and she was like, no. She's like, I just wanted plain. But
they look good though, man. They look really good.
Yeah.
But chalo, let's try Dave's. Yeah.
Let's try Dave's. 34 minutes. We लड़कियों को छुपाया हुआ है.
Yeah, we're gonna try Dave's now. So let's see if you like it compared to US one.
I'm so excited, and I know it's going to be amazing.
100%, man. So I'm looking forward to more Park Gear videos, man. Love the content. So
we're gonna he's going to be on a Park Gear video when he's in Lahore.
For sure, man. Hopefully, for sure. Love that, and we'll get some food in as well.
Done.
But catch you guys in a bit.